Okay, we are going to begin the Eureka 409 belt repair. It is a small vacuum. It's bagless. It's a really nice vacuum, and we're just going to go over how to replace the belt. So to begin, you start out like this, and then you're going to flip over the vacuum to show the underside to you. You're going to look at these 4 holes, and inside those 4 holes are screws, and you're going to just I use a number 2 screwdriver, and you're just going to unscrew all of these screws. Okay, once you have all 4 screws out, you can flip the vacuum back over, and you're going to lift the vacuum this yellow housing, up, and then you're going to have to pop it off. So these 3 spots are the notches that lock into the base. So now you have the exposed motor. This is where the brush roll, and this is the belt. And so to access this main housing, the brush housing, you're going to take off the motor by lifting up and then taking off the belt and putting the motor out of the way. Then you can access the 4 screws right here, and you can start unscrewing them. So now that all the 4 screws are out, you can lift the black housing up, straight up, and expose the brush roll. This is where you can access the actual belt if it's still intact, and this is where you replace the new belt. You want to make sure it's a good fit, because it's going to need to be taut enough so it can move the brush roll. Now that you have the belt replaced, you can replace the black housing by putting it there and then pushing down, and it should lock in pretty tightly, and then you can start screwing it back in. So you've exposed the brush roll. Once you have replaced the belt, okay. Once you have replaced the belt, make sure it's a good fit and that the teeth of the belt match the teeth of the brush roll. And then you're going to put that to the side and then put the brush roll housing back on. And it should just fit right in there. And you can start screwing it back into those 4 places. Okay, you want to make sure all the screws are tight, because if you lose, this needs to be tight to create the suction, and so just double check that everything's in there good and tight. It's really important that all screws you take off are put in back tight. So to replace the belt back on the motor, you're just going to thread it through there, and then you should be able to, with a little bit of pressure, just push up on so it goes into these, in between these two things. And it should just lock right in there. It shouldn't have any issues. Make sure that the wires aren't pinched, because if you have a pinched wire, you have to go back and replace that. And so once everything's screwed in, the belt's on, and the motor is in the proper place, and the wires aren't pinched, you can replace the yellow housing. And so all you do is you make sure those 3 notches go into the 3 notches in the base, and then you push down. They will click in like that, and then once that's on, you're going to flip it back over, and then just replace the 4 screws. And yeah, everything should be good to go. Once you have all 4 screws in, the belt will move this. Everything should be good to go. Thank you for watching our repair. Okay, and so once you have it back on this side, you're going to replace all the screws and then screw everything back in. Okay, now that everything's replaced, all the screws are tight, you are good to use the vacuum, and good luck. Thank you for watching our video.